I was listening to Dave's recent album, The Boy Who Played the App, but there's this song he was talking about things happening around us or things that happened in the past. And his question was, would we have done it different? Would we have been better? Would we have stopped it? Can we still stop it? Because a lot of history, not what history does is repeat itself because we actually find it difficult to learn from it, which is weird. Because now we have a lot of documented history and we are still not learning from it. That's not the topic for today. That brings us to today's episode. Would we be able to stop it, the Holocaust as a whole? Hi everyone, welcome back to today's episode when we'll be talking about what would we do different as a society now. We'll be looking at the Holocaust in view. The Holocaust was a tragic genocide that happened in World War II that led to the death of the systematic, not death, the systematic killing of 6 million Jews. The question, what would we do different? We can't really analyze this without analyzing how the Nazis succeed. Yeah, how the Nazis succeeded. Hitler's hate for Jews was never really hidden. He didn't trust them from World War One, saying they were the ones who were the reason Germany lost World War One. So he was always going to push for trying to get Germany pure in a sense. How were they able to achieve it? It started with Joseph Goebbels, Hitler's propaganda manager or minister, or whatever you decide to call him. He was the first person or the first documented person to realize to control the way people think, you have to control what they see. You have to suggest how they should think. So he started by creating a movie where he portrayed Jews as terrible at first. It failed. The German people did not buy into that idea that easy. So they decided to try another approach. They decided to test the water. First thing they did, they started taking sick, disabled children's children away from their parents and then killing them. Basically, that was it. Just take them away to a secluded place and kill them. In the mental institution, they had doctors who was buying into the idea at the start. As they saw, the German people did not react because most of them didn't have an idea of what was going on. They took it a step further. They started by taking disabled adults. This was when this was what raised publicity or what raised information about it. So they started taking disabled adults, same place, but this time they needed to increase the amount of doctors. The doctors pushed back. They didn't want to do it. And then the memo came in saying Hitler was the one who wanted to happen. So they decided to let it happen. It was not going to be that easy. They started by killing with lethal injection. They moved on to gas. But ultimately, the public became aware of it, and it was judged by one of the priests in Germany back then to be an inhumane act in the fact that they were killing people just for killing people. That was when Hitler and his many other generals who were involved in this realized their actual plan. They realized the German people was against killing Germans, but they were not against killing people. It didn't matter who it was outside Germany. That led to another incident. There was another incident that proved this theory to Hitler and his generals back then. It was a general named Reinhard Heimdrich, I think, or Heimlich. He and his kill squad were killing Jews in other countries or other states at the time. In Poland, in people that were having war with Germany. They had moved Jews into the slums. They started killing Jews just for fun. They killed 32,000 Jews also in a day, or in 2 days, sorry. And news got to Germany. Nobody moved an inch. which proved their theory. If we are able to move the Jews out of Germany, we can kill them. Basically, people only care about the situation when it affects them directly. So that came the question: how do we get the German people to agree to push out the Jews? That's when the propaganda started. That's when Goebbels was the most influential person in the whole situation. So Goebbels started. He didn't start by making a movie again. He didn't make another movie, but he started by giving them a label. Everyone who was a Jew had to wear a tag that says they were a Jew from the age of 6 onwards. So everybody who was not a Jew could see, oh yeah, this guy is a Jew, this guy is a Jew. They gave a label to a problem or uh but to a number of people. Like, people don't see a problem until you point it out. So this was the first thing they did. They gave it a label. And then in the news and um in movie theaters, they started the actual propaganda. They didn't just paint the Jewish people as good. They painted the Jewish people as good, the German people. Sorry, they painted the Jewish people as bad, the German people as good. You know what I'm saying? So there were different movies where the storyline involves the bad guy being a Jew, which would be pointed out at the end of the movie. So it would make waves. It was tiny, tiny, tiny things like that. In news, they would report cases that involved Jewish people who committed a crime, but they wouldn't report cases that involve German people committing a crime. So now they've convinced these people. So what they did next, they told the German population that they were moving the Jews to some paradise or something. They made a video. It was really fun. They had swimming pools. They had all the resources they would need to try. And it was that. It was very easy. You're thinking, how come it's that easy? Why did nobody think about the things that could go wrong? Because it was very easy to point out that the Nazis hated the Jews. So this might be a way to get rid of Jews. But with those little things they did, with the label, with the news, with the movies, they have suggested their way into making people oblivious to the truth. So they did it. They moved Jews with trains all the way from Germany to Poland. The Jews, they thought they were going to a better place, because who wants to stay in a place where they are not liked? Nobody. They thought they were going to a better place. Honestly, they did. They even made train stations, fake train stations, put clocks and everything to make it seem like they were going to a safer place. They trusted them fully. They got to these train stations, they would be told they needed to take a bath. So they separated the men, women. And then when they did that, they get handed death camp clothes. And that's how they were led to death camps. That's how it started the systematic killing of Jews. It wasn't really systematic anymore. They had all of them in one place. So they were just killing and testing and killing and testing. So, to answer the question, would we be able to stop it now? I don't think so. Back then, all they had was the news, movies to alter people's opinion, to control how they think. But now there's a lot. There's social media, there's celebrities, there's a whole lot. There's books even. Now it's worse. There are people who put celebrities on a pedestal that whatever they do is right. And you see people get shocked that, why would he do that? He's a celebrity. I thought he was a nice person. I think we as humans need to start separating celebrities from their work of art. They might be good at doing whatever they are doing. They might be great artists. They might be great movie stars. But they could be terrible people. We need to start understanding that is possible, because humans are complex. They are very, very complex. I believe it is easy to control how we think as a society, and a lot of people are doing it. People pay billions of dollars for advertising, and you think they're just throwing money. No, they're not. They have they have what they are achieving, and they are achieving it because they are not going to keep putting money in a pit where they are achieving that. Sounds like a conspiracy theory that yeah, they are controlling how you think, but they're suggesting their ways into your life. They're suggesting their ways, their principles into your life. You hate a certain country, you've never been to the country, you only hate them because of what you read. Why? Because the person who wrote what you read wants you to hate them. How many of your opinions are your own? How many of your thoughts are your own? I said in the last video, do you think what you're thinking is your thinking or another person's thinking? It's wordy, it's a mouthful, but it's the truth. It's a sad reality, it's a sad truth that if the Holocaust was to happen again, if another Hitler was to happen again, we would lose 6 million people. We could lose billions of people before we can stop it. Because it is very, very easy to control how the human mind works. And people know this. The big guys know this. The big companies, the terrorist groups, they know this. And they will use it because it helps them achieve their goals. How many of your opinions are your own? I need you to think about that. I think every opinion you've had, that you've ever had about gays people, about different genocides happening in the world right now, I want you to think about it. Is it your opinion? Did you think that, or someone is making you think that? Until we as a society, we as people individually start to form our own opinions, the possibility of having another Holocaust will always loom. It is difficult to control how you think because of what we consume. Because like the famous psychology quote, as a man thinks, so he is. There's this quote from Martin Luther King Jr. He said, injustice anywhere in the world is injustice to humanity. We as a whole need to start thinking for ourselves. Stop stanship. Stop trying to ban the wagon. Always question. Always try to find out why are things the way they are. I remain God's love. It was nice having you guys here today. Do remember to like and subscribe. And again, are you thinking what you are thinking because it's your thinking? Thank you and good night.